There's a phase no one really talks about, where your life starts getting better, but you feel more alone than you did before. You've got more structure, more discipline. You're actually moving forward. But at the same time, your life gets quieter, and the connections that used to be there don't feel the same anymore. And it's not random. It's because when your life starts to change, your environment changes with it. And that's the part most people aren't prepared for. That's exactly where I found myself not long ago. Everything looked like it was working, but something underneath it didn't feel right. So I've been on this kind of journey. I've been sharing what I've been doing on the YouTube. I've been structuring my life a lot better, adding in daily habits, routines, setting principles that I found from motivational speakers on YouTube, that I started to integrate that into my weekly life. Things like the 888 principle, waking up at 6 in the morning, doing a 90-day reset where I taken out bad habits and replaced them with intentional habits that I've consciously chosen, that's what I want to do on a weekly basis. So I do feel as if I've been making massive progress, but at the same time, there's something that like subtle in the background that just feels as if is not kind of working. Because what I've really found is I'm kind of isolating myself a lot more, and it's because when your life starts becoming intentional, it also starts becoming quieter. So I've been I spoke about it in one of my videos before as well, that I used to be doing night shift and like working nights and taking all your time, like long hours, and then sleeping during the day. With my wife, I was passing ships, and every second weekend I was driving back up to Glasgow to see my boys. So I never spent quality time with my wife. And she did say about this for a long time to change. Now obviously we've split up, and it wasn't until I moved back to Glasgow that I found myself getting a morning job. So I was doing a good routine Sunday to Wednesday, 5 in the morning until like 5 in the evening. So long hours, but structured time. And every second weekend I was getting my boys overnight, but every week I was getting them on a Wednesday and Thursday night as well. So spending a lot more quality time, well, a lot more time with them. I'm still getting to the quality time part. I want to take them to festivals and things like that, but there's time issues, money issues as well. But so I've got a whole weekend that is myself, and I don't know if you've ever had time like that that's actually yours, because you'll know how different that feels. And what I'm saying about time that's actually yours is that normally, like if you've got a partner or friends, there's always something on, there's always something planned, there's always something that you do. Now that's not necessarily you consciously choosing sometimes, because it's somebody else that makes that decision for you. Now this is where I've found myself in, that I never consciously chose what I was doing day to day, hour by hour, or week to week. And that was just a big epiphany. It was to say that, like on my time off, like the last video I was saying about, on my days off, I wasn't setting an alarm. So I was wasting early, I wasn't setting an alarm for my days off, but when I was working, I was setting my alarm, I was going to work, and I was thinking, I was like, well, why am I just setting an alarm and being on time for a job that I don't see a future in? But my days off, where they're actually mine, that I'm not actually setting an alarm, I'm not getting up, I'm not motivated to, start like the day off with a really great intentions. Now, this is what I'm saying about having that kind of time for yourself. I've never really consciously understood that before. Now that feels massive to me, that I'm now 43 years old, and that's only when I've realised that is before my life was filled, my days were filled for me. And I think that's just all in your wiring from school age as well, that during the week you're going to school, but the weekend you didn't set an alarm, or once you grew up, your weekends you were having drinks, you were going out partying, so you didn't set an alarm. So that just becomes ingrained, because it's that with your kind of 90 days habit that I've delved into, that if you do something for 90 days, it becomes second nature. So yeah, if you're repeating these same patterns over months, years, that just becomes ingrained. So now I've understood that, I've unpacked that kind of wisdom from it, and now I'm consciously choosing what I'm doing on my days off. Now I've kind of so now, as I said, I'm now choosing my days and filling my own time, and that's it's got me more inward. So what actually felt like improvement on the surface was actually my life being rebuilt underneath. But as I said, what starts to come up is it's starting to be quiet when you're out for walks, when you're working, when you're concentrating on doing these things for yourself, that there's something underneath that quietly kind of comes up. And that for me was loneliness, that I wasn't doing anything with other people. I was kind of, as I said, isolating, segregating myself from people. I was kind of, so the progress that I was doing, that wasn't removing it. And what I found is that I feel as if I wasn't quite the person that I was before, because I'm changing my life, I'm getting better, but at the same time I wasn't quite the person I want to become as well. Not there yet. So there's this kind of a space in between, because when the noise drops away, you finally hear what's been there all along. Now, as I said, I was feeling a bit lonely, so I was kind of wanting that connection. And normally, what I've found is I've been trying to phone friends, and just picking up my phone, scrolling through names, right, I'll randomly phone this person. But what I realised is I wasn't really trying to connect. I was trying to get something back from it. And what I mean by that is, I was just wanting to get rid of that kind of loneliness. But what I found is I was phoning people up, and a lot of the times they weren't answering my calls, or they were busy. And for me back in the day, I used to phone people all the time. I used to just randomly choose people, give them a quick call, and people knew what they were getting when I normally phoned them. Because before I was a lot less, I'm more light, more conversational, a bit more humorous, a bit more excitable, joyful. But what I found is, going through this kind of healing journey, I was becoming a bit too serious and a bit too much doom and gloom. And I actually spoke to one of my friends today, and he did confirm that. He's like, yeah, you've not been the same person for the past couple of years. And what I've realised is that changing the kind of person that who you were, and you're not necessarily quite the person that you're kind of wanting to be, there's an energy shift. And like you're kind of trying to, get yourself better, a bit more, trying to get rid of all your bad habits, and you feel as if you're becoming someone new. Now, with the kind of energy that I've been having, that I feel as if there's just somebody behind us. Hi there, how you doing? I'm still not confident enough to do the videos on myself. So yeah, what I was saying is I feel as if, like my old self is kind of leaving, but I wasn't necessarily becoming a new person. Now, for me, when being in this loneliness stage, I kind of just wanted to reach out to people, trying to connect, and when I was picking up the phone, nobody was really answering, or like the conversations were a bit flat. It didn't flow the way that it used to. It wasn't like excitable or jolly, it was a bit more serious. Now, like for me, a lot of people, there's that kind of phrase of, oh, you've changed. And I feel as if in the past couple of years, I've kind of, in the past couple of years, I've kind of changed, but not in a good way. Because for the past 2.5 years, I've actually come off alcohol. Now, just because I had a problem with it, because like I wasn't structuring my days properly. I wasn't doing like my days off. I was just like falling back into the old habit. You probably yourself is like, for me, from being from Glasgow and doing Club 18-30 reps and working in hospitality, I used to just drink basically every day I had off. So that was just second nature to me. What I was just saying about doing something for those 90 days, it becomes second nature. So this is already rewired in my brain that, when it was my day off, I'll just drink. So when you come off alcohol or you're changing habits, you're consciously becoming somebody different, but at the same time you're losing that kind of lightness, that kind of like joyful. Like for me, I was always quite like fun drinking alcohol. I didn't have a problem when I was drinking it. It was the hangovers and snoring a wee bit bad, and as I said, it was just, there was no structure to my week, and it was just constantly I wanted a drink. Now, for the past, as I said, my friend phoned today and said, you've not been the same for the past couple of years. And it is because I've consciously chose to come off alcohol and consciously choose to do, like, trying to structure my days better and stuff like that. And I've only really kind of done this, structured my days better in the past like 4 months doing the YouTube channel. But I'm still not quite the kind of person I'm wanting to become. The kind of wee righto, jolly John, the person that I've always kind of been. I'm not quite there yet. I'm getting there. But what I was kind of meaning is when I'm phoning friends and they're not picking up the calls, there was like a resistance there. There was this negative energy that I was kind of giving out. So they didn't want to answer my call. And the kind of only way I can explain it is that, you know, the two ends of magnets, that when they repel each other. So for me, I'm trying to reach out, I'm feeling lonely, and the other person's like, no, I'm not wanting to answer your call. Because when you change internally, your old life doesn't meet you the same way anymore. So because I've basically stripped my life back, my old life doesn't fit, but that new life that I'm trying to build is not there yet. So there's a gap between that. And a lot of people, as I said, would just fall back to old habits, or like I said it earlier on about the first time I split up with my first wife. I didn't do the necessarily changes that I should have done. All this work that I've done now, I should have done it back then, but I was just trying to find a bit of happiness. That loneliness was like, it is real hard. So before, like, I wasn't off alcohol, so I just like went back to drinking, meeting friends and trying to like forget and trying to numb the pain, that the kind of loss and stuff. So I didn't do the work there. But with my wife splitting up with me here, and it was her choice, it wasn't my choice, because I've not done the work on myself. Like she'd done the work when she split up with her, the father of her child. She went through all this pain, all this healing journey, and she sat with all this kind of loneliness, and I didn't truly understand that until I've done it myself. I thought I did healing, but I was kidding myself on. It was just, whereas now, the kind of loneliness, sitting in that loneliness, it actually creates clarity. For me, as I said, I'm consciously choosing how to structure my days. I'm not filling it in with other people telling me what we can do, plans at the weekend. I'm just sitting in this quiet space and looking at my life going, where do I want my life to go? Instead of just randomly just keep going to work, and then at the weekends you're going out drinking, you're just there's no improvement from 1 week to the next month to the next year. I can't see a future in that. Whereas now that I'm consciously choosing to structure my days better, I'm like, let's start doing this YouTube channel. Let's like come get my flow back, get into alignment, see what's coming up next. That's when I've said that I want to write a book about all this journey that I've went on, the heartbreak, the 3 days of despair, total feeling rock bottom, and then sitting in that, just having that clarity, and then choosing consciously how to fill my days back in, where I want my journey to go, and listening to motivational speakers, podcasts, etc. I found all these different principles that I've started to integrate, and I feel as if they've really helped massively when I went through this rock bottom stage, the 3 days of despair, as I just said there. So I'm wanting to write a book about that, and that's what's kind of I mean by that, sitting in that space, because it allows you to see where you want to take your life, and not like just trying to fill it with other things. It starts to feel different. And this gap isn't something going wrong. It's what happens when your old life clears before your new one is built. Now, what I found as well, that I've got a friend that split up with his wife a month before mine, and so we've been kind of meeting up. As I said before, I've been trying to phone people, and people not really necessarily getting back to me or reaching out. So I'm meeting a friend that's actually going through something really similar to you. That's really great to have somebody there, like, because with that kind of bond with him, we've been like meeting up, we've been going for walks, and because we're sharing the kind of what we're learning, the kind of healing journey as well, we're kind of syncing up as well. Like our minds are like reaching out. Like kind of randomly, I was out for a walk, and in my head I was like, do you know what, I think I could do a hill walk. And within 3 hours he texted asking, do you want to climb Ben Nevis? Now, I've never even climbed a hill, never mind the mountain, but for me to have that in my head, and with him to send a text 3 hours later, yeah, there was something in that. And then same again, I think it was like 3 weeks later. Actually, I would say that we never climbed Ben Nevis because it was February, it was snowing, and I think the week that we planned to go, somebody died the week before, so we're like, no, let's not do that. But yeah, like about 3 weeks later, with this YouTube channel that I'm doing, I kind of felt as if I wanted to start doing things, more activities and stuff. So in my head, I was like, yeah, let's start doing things. And within like 10 minutes, he texted me saying, do you want to go to a spa? Now, that was the first time we've actually went to a spa together. It was just the two of us. It was like a cold plunge, infrared sauna, jacuzzi and stuff. So it was really fun. And then I started writing about like kind of my experiences for these kind of scripts for the YouTube channel. And I kind of mentioned to him, I was like, do you know what, John, I've actually been writing about this, and what I've came to realise is that we're replacing what we've used to do with our wives, like with each other, going for forest walks, going for spas, meeting up for a coffee. And like our friendship before used to just be about going about drinking. Now, because we're going through that journey, because we're syncing up, it's replacing what you used to do in your environments. Yeah, and replacing it with something different. Because if you're consciously choosing to do different things, and as I said, my energy was different, so the people that I would normally go partying or drinking, not necessarily wanting to answer my call, they didn't really know how to talk to me. But somebody that's going through a similar journey, like, they understand that a wee bit better. And as I said, we're choosing different activities to do. Now, we've been talking about this. As I said, I love you, like, come out for forest walks. I used to do it with my wife, and yeah, like when I first met my wife, I was actually wanting to live abroad in the sunshine, but she said that she wanted to move to Scotland. So she actually got me to fall back in love with Scotland and coming out in nature and stuff. And that's when you really appreciate where you're from, when you get yourself out in nature, listen to the birds, taking all the oxygen and stuff. So when I stopped forcing connection, the right one started to feel easy again. So that space wasn't lost. It was actually needed to start understanding where I want to go with my life. As I said, instead of filling your days with old patterns, you're wanting to maybe choose different activities that so you don't lose your friendships. Like, go to the gym, go for forest walks, do something different that you've never done. Because with these kind of habits, the 90-day reset, getting over bad habits is 66 days. You need to do it in a row to get over it. But getting over addictions is 90 days. So that you can rewire your brain. And the best way to normally get over addictions is to replace it with something different. Because the time that you're spending on those kind of addictions or bad habits, if you're not doing anything with that time, it's so easy just to fall back into it. But if you replace that time that you would normally do it with a good habit, and as I said, there was a kind of exercise I did about writing 25 things that you want to achieve in the next 3 to 5 years, put them all in, then reorder them, put them all in chronological order of when you would like to achieve them. So then you're kind of getting everything out your brain and putting it into paper, and then also you're putting in order what ones you would like to do first. Now, the reason you want to do that is because replacing a bad habit or addiction, it's better to replace it with something that you've consciously chosen, that you want to achieve, because you'll stick to it. You'll actually say to yourself, no, this is for me. I want to do this. And this is what I was saying about my daily habits, coming out for forest walks, doing my exercises, gua sha routine, trying to look a wee bit better, doing this YouTube channel. This is all things that I've wanted to do. So yeah, I've lost myself in the wee thread again. Where was I? I do it all the time. I'm trying to structure my videos and trying to kind of get them all out, but I always end up going off on tangents. It's easier when you're talking to somebody, because then they'll remember where you are in your conversation. But so connection doesn't come from chasing people. It comes from the environment that you place yourself in. So this is the reason. Because, as I said, if you're consciously choosing these daily these habits that you want to bring into your weekly order, that then you can actually say to a friend, look, I really want to start going to the gym. Is there a time that we can meet up and we can do it together? Or I want to go out and do forest walks, as I said, you want to go for a walk. So you're trying to change the environment that you've got with the relationship of your friend. Because you'll know yourself, as I said before, all these habits, they're ingrained over years. You normally just meet friends and go to the pub. But if you're wanting to change your life, if you're wanting to still connect with those friends, you don't want to lose them, then you need to start choosing something different, an activity that's different that you could do together, that changes, that brings your connection with that friend in a positive way. Like I said with my friend John, we're kind of feel as if we're aligned, we're synchronizing random texts and stuff about something different. Now that is our friendship changing in a positive way. Because as I said, before, when I first split up with my first wife, I just went back drinking. I was trying to get over the heartbreak by numbing the pain, but I didn't do the work on myself. And obviously, splitting up with a second wife, there's clearly something that was going wrong in my life, and it was me just procrastinating and not going anywhere. And it's just because ingrained habits, I was just not consciously choosing how I want to fill my days in. Because there's that saying is, people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and underestimate what they can achieve in 3 years. Now, that is because 365 days you think, I've got loads of time to do things. But the thing is that you need to break it down into months, weeks and days. Now, if you choose, every single day that you wake up, the past doesn't matter. That's a brand new day. So you get to choose how you fill that day in. Now, if you consciously choose, as I said the last video about, I'm on my days off, I'm getting up at 6 o'clock now. I'm consciously choosing to, this is a brand new day, this is what I want to do. I want to get up, I want to feel motivated, I want to be productive, I want to do things. Now, if you break it into days at a time, step by step, then you can start achieving things. I can see that I will be successful in my life because I'm doing something different every single day, instead of just repeating the same old patterns, and letting other people, or letting old habits and environments just fill that day with you. So that's your external life is changing, but your internal identity is actually still catching up on you. Now, for me, it felt as if, as I said, the gap between the person that I was before and the person I want to become, I kind of felt as if I was going to become someone new. But the deeper question really emerges that it stopped feeling like I was becoming someone new and more like I was finally meeting who I'd always been. Yeah, because that for me was a real epiphany, that I thought I was going to be something different. But when I look back at it, I was just stripping everything down that I didn't want to take forward into the new version of myself. But that new version of myself was actually me choosing consciously when I look back of the person that I already am. So that got me quite excited when I thought about that, because I've had a great life. I've great friends and family, and I've always been quite excitable and like had great joy. Like my wife before, she used to say that I used to walk into a room and light the room up, because for me, as I said, working in hospitality and Club 18 to 30 repping, my job is to try to be everybody's best friend. So I got trained from an early age of how to become everybody's best friend, and it's an impossible job, but I tried. And the key thing is that you need to find something that you've got in common with somebody. And when I was working in hospitality, I was in my flow. So when you're in your flow, you're aligned. And for me, my intuition was really great when I was in that flow state. So I always wanted to talk to people. I was wanting to become their best friend as such. So I was like, right, I need to find something I've got in common with that person. So I had to approach like the table at the restaurant or whatever, and try to find something I've got in common with that person. But my intuition was spot on. I used to say things that I knew that person was going to connect with me. So the best way for somebody to open up is for you to say something really honest and deep, for them to then go, right, that person shared something intimate, and I will share something back. So I used to, I think I've spoken about it before in these videos, that my managers at the restaurants used to say, like, what were you talking about there? And I spoke about it, and they're like, how did you get in that deep a conversation within like 30 seconds? And I said, well, I said this. And people just, it blew their minds. But as I said, that was me in my flow state. I was aligned. And that's the kind of person that I want to be again. I want to take that person, strip all the things that don't fit in my life anymore, and then be able to, get that person back and start to have more conversations with my friends that they know that I'm back. We Writer's back. More excitable, more like joyful, up for doing things. And this is what I was saying in my last video, that I think I'm going to go back drinking, because I don't have a problem with drinking anymore. I've got structure in my days, and for me, I wouldn't be just every weekend or whatever. It would be like, let's plan it, let's go to a festival, let's go to like nightclub. I love my dance music. Let's do things like that, something fun. For a while, it feels like something's missing, like life is moving forward, but something hasn't caught up yet. But looking back, it wasn't something missing. It was space. Space that wasn't there before. And in that space, things stopped blending together. What still fits and what doesn't anymore. Because the life that's starting to take shape doesn't hold everything it used to. Some things fall away, some things change, and some things don't come back the same. Now guys, I'm going to leave it there. So, Slán Diva. Ciao.